Hello, good morning, you guys, and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know that I am. I got tired tongue. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video on the algorithm. So make sure you guys please like, share, subscribe, comment, and all of those great things. You guys, I have really been um, fascinated with this KEEFE D case and what's going to happen with Lil Durk. Now, Lil Durk's case will not be televised, so I guess people are going to have to go to Chicago, go into federal court. You got Trenches News, who is a Chicago vlogger, so if he can, he may be down there. It may not be safe though for a lot of people, a lot of vloggers that are well known to go up in that federal case because we know how they do it. Child, they pop people coming out of jail in Chicago. So I don't know about that one. But I was looking at Mob James was on the stand, okay? In KEEFE D's trial. Y'all, KEEFE D looks like a deer in headlights. Okay, and KEEFE D is really basically on trial because of himself. I think KEEFE D, I think in the back of his mind, he knew that he like so many other people that was close to the situation knew that the police knew what happened to Tupac. They didn't really want to do anything about it because it was so many corrupt officers. You got, I believe, the brass, which is the head, the top people within law enforcement, decided that they would pass on Biggie's and on Tupac's really for a very long time because they knew that Biggie and Tupac's family had the money to fight and file a lawsuit because of corrupt police officers working and that were gang members working to being a part of this, and they could have definitely sued the state of California, right? The city of Los Angeles or whatever little city, but definitely state of California, and they would have broke the bank on them. So I think that's one of the reasons why they never had an interest. And KEEFE D knew this. He knew it. And so I think he felt like after, so many years had passed and the sensationalism of it had kind of died down, because I was very fascinated with the documentaries like years after it happened. But as time go on, more things happen. People kind of move on, and he just becomes that good rapper that was killed. Okay, that the case was never solved, and KEEFE D thought it was safe to go ahead and put it in a book. Now, Reggie Wright, who I believe was a corrupt police officer, also gang affiliation some kind of way, stated that he was putting on shirts telling him to stop talking because the feds were coming to him saying that they were going to have to indict him. They didn't want to do anything, but because he was going on every show, hollering on every rooftop what had happened for some money, he basically put himself in jail for some money. Now he got to use that same money, get that same money to some lawyers, and I bet you it wasn't enough. Okay, trying to sell a book. Also, now he's sitting up on trial looking like a deer in headlights. Okay, having my coffee this morning, y'all, before work. So Mob James, who happens to be he's old now, but he's an ex-gang member. I do believe that Mob James was like a Pyru or something, so I guess they're like Bloods. And KEEFE D was a Crip, or it might have been the other way around. Y'all, if I'm wrong, I know y'all gonna tell me, so put in the comments if I'm right or wrong, if I got the gangs wrong, because KEEFE D might have been a Blood, but I do believe he was a Crip. And Mob James might have been a Pyru, because that's kind of who Suge ran with, the Pyrus, right? If I'm wrong, y'all put it in the comments and help a sister out, okay? He was up on the stand, child. Now, they were rivals. They were even rivals back then. And Mob James spoke about how he still did not like KEEFE D. And he didn't want to be up there on the stand telling on KEEFE D because allegedly he ain't no snitch and he done turned his life around all while telling it, child. I don't want nobody like that to ever. I thank God I don't deal in crime, okay? Never have, but you know, I wouldn't want nobody like that up on the stand, child. I don't want to, I don't like this man, but I don't want to tell on him all while telling it, okay? And KEEFE D looks mad as you know what, okay? Because if you don't want to tell it, you wouldn't be up there on the stand. They're not going to put, the prosecutors are not going to put you up there if they think you're going to hurt their case. That you see, Suge ain't up there. Suge is not up there because he's not going to say anything. So evidently he said something in the background. He's led them to believe that he would help the case. He has told them some things that would help the case. And now he wants to get up there on the stand and act like he doesn't want to say anything, all while telling, okay? He's up there because he want to be up there. They didn't make him get up there. He said he's changed his life around, so they don't have no leverage on him. Okay, he still don't like him and he still want to see him convicted. Okay, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But just be real about it. See, I don't like for a person to shuck and jive just like Mob James just did. Mob James is actually likable. Okay, because I've seen his interviews, but he's shucking and jiving right here.
Even though we don't like each other.
Sure.
I don't want to send you to prison. So that's why I'm here where I'm at in the way.
Now look at how KEEFE D looking at him like you mother effer. Then why you got your ass up there talking? Okay, because by saying that, you letting them know that something went on. Okay, something salacious must have gone on. Okay, and KEEFE D know that. So you don't want to send him to jail. Well, I mean, what do you have that can send him to jail? That means he did something, and you know he did something, and you're telling it without saying it.
Where I am, because I changed my life.
Did you see who shot Tupac?
I told you no.
Correct. So outside of that question, right? The next question I'm asking you is, when you went back to Compton, was it like a Southside Crip shoots a Pyru Blood, and then a Pyru Blood shoots a Southside Crip? Is that the tension that we're talking about?
Do I answer this?
That's a straightforward question.
Now he acting like Woody.
It's a yes or no answer.
Okay.
Did you see that?
When I was a part of that life, I was a part of that. And I was, no, because you asking something that's gonna hurt this dude. And okay, let me stop.
And once again, I want to emphasize
when we got back to Compton,
okay,
it was a gang war. People were getting hurt.
Okay.
People was being sought. People were looking for certain individuals from his neighborhood,
okay,
as well they did mine.
Okay.
But Orlando, him, and certain other people were being sought because people wanted to kill them.
Sure. Were they the only ones that they wanted to kill?
Am I the only one up in this?
Now that's just telling it. Now, did he not just tell? He said when we got back to Los Angeles, people were looking for him as well as Orlando. People wanted to unalive them because of Tupac. That's telling that they did it. Look at how KEEFE D looking at him like, MF, if I could get my hand on a gun, I'd do you up there on the stand.
No, they weren't the only one.
Okay.
It's his neighborhood in particular.
Right.
But they were the main subjects of a gang war. It was in the middle, such
Sure.
as me.
So you're telling us that people back home somehow had some type of information that said that guy, as a bunch of other people, were involved in what?
In the murder of Tupac.
Okay.
That is right there. He just told it.
But my question to you,
Stop.
can you focus on me for a second, sir?
Yeah, I will.
And I just want to.
Now look at how KEEFE D looking at him. KEEFE D looking at him like you MF, or you know you wanted to tell on me. He mad as hell. now I had not looked at it all the way through. When I saw all the shenanigans, and even in the beginning, I was like, okay, this dude is something else. He is definitely, and looking at how KEEFE D is looking at him, he mad as hell. Okay, because they really didn't have anything on KEEFE D. And the reason I was saying that will KEEFE D walk, because he could easily say that the book was fictional. Okay, he could definitely say that, right? That it was, he just was trying to sell books. He was trying to sell copies of a book, and which oftentimes people do in books. They kind of embellish and put a lot of false stuff in there for more pages, and you have to, just like a TV movie, he could have easily said that, right? um but I believe that, I always believe that they did it. I don't know why KEEFE D told everybody, I think everybody that was in that car is no longer with us. They're all deceased. And so I think KEEFE D felt like they don't give a F, like everybody else saying about solving Tupac case. Everybody know what happened. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. And nobody has said nothing. All of them Peru guys knew that they had did this. And none of them said nothing. KEEFE D told it on himself. Okay? He told it on himself. But he may mess around and walk. But Mob James and Reggie got up there on the stand too now. And so Reggie might have told the truth on him. He might have told more truth. Mob James shucking and driving because he don't want to look at KEEFE D face like a snitch, but I mean, he basically wanted to tell it because they never would put him up there.
Make sure that we're clear, okay, for these people. In terms of that information, none of those people were there, right?
What people we speaking on? The people that was already, even though we don't like each other.
Sure.
I don't want to send you to prison. So that's why I'm here where I'm at.
Okay, you guys. I'm ready to pull up Reggie Wright right quick. Okay, Reggie, just a few minutes of Reggie Wright being on the stand. Okay. I'm trying to find court. Is it Court TV? Hold on one second.
Yeah, heard of them when I was playing at Kelly Park, baseball, Little League baseball, at Compton Northern. And then my time in '85 as a jailer, and then working in the streets of Compton as a police officer from 1989.
Were you familiar with somebody by the name that went by the moniker KEEFE D?
Well, heard of him. Had no personal interactions with him at that point, especially in law enforcement. Heard of him, knew of him, but I had no personal contact with KEEFE at that time.
So he was somebody that was on your radar, even though you had never met him or any had personal interaction with him.
Heard of him. He was mainly known as at one point he was known as a crackhead, but then later on he was known as a drug dealer. And I mainly was a gang guy, and didn't really enforce on.
Wow. He gotta get his shots in. He can't help it. He can't help it. He have to get his shots in on KEEFE D. He really don't like KEEFE. But he was trying to tell him, no, I'm looking for some more of that testimony. Is it Law and Crime? I don't know if Law and Crime he was up there for an hour. We're definitely not going to. Okay, so we'll talk about that another time because he had like an hour and a half, almost 2 hour testimony. We're definitely not going to look at all of that, but he had to get a shot. I'm sure he was, honest. I'm sure he did not hold back. I think him being a police officer, he definitely was. He dishonored his badge. He was definitely disloyal to the oath and the badge, because he knew all this time that they did this, and he was trying to tell him to stop talking about it because they was going to indict him. And KEEFE D thought he was just talking, thought he was just messing with him. He was BSing, and you would think that, especially him working up under Tupac and them. I always believe that when Tupac security, big I can't think of his name. He was he's deceased now. It was very suspicious. Big he called him Big something. But he said that Reggie told them to told Tupac to take his vest off, or told him not to be on Tupac. I think they all plotted and planned this, and he's got to try. He knows that KEEFE D is in a position where he can't really say anything. They knew that. I think that he knew that they was going to retaliate, and in case they did retaliate or something like that, he didn't need to have on no vest. I don't know. I always just kind of felt like they was in it some type of way, like Reggie and Suge, because Suge doesn't want to tell on KEEFE D, and then KEEFE D talk about how down through the years he saw Suge at when they was at their grandson game, and Suge was at his son's game, and they would stand and talk, after down through the years after that happened. Tupac was your top artist, and you don't have any issues with it, but Suge got a lot of money when Tupac passed away. He got more money from him being dead than alive. So I don't know. It was just always something weird about that. And the way Big Frank, that was his name, Big Frank, says that Reggie did things, okay, leading up that night, leading up to that, as far as not wanting all the security on Tupac and all of that. It was just very suspicious. And so I'm sure KEEFE D, he can't say anything right now. If he get convicted, he might, go ahead and just tell everything. But he definitely got a chance of walking, because Reggie and them did not see him pull the trigger. They didn't see him pull the trigger. He could easily say that the book was fictional, and he got a chance of walking. He definitely got I think he got a 55% chance of walking. I think he got a bigger chance of walking than being convicted. Okay. And notice I said 55%. He may be convicted now, but I just think he got a 55% chance, because even though they're saying that there were rumors and people speculated, they didn't actually see him pull the trigger. He's so stupid. He's saying that the book was fictional, right? So, y'all hit that like button. Hold on one second. I want to show this interview he did recently. Hold on one second. Here it is.
Hey, you're ready. What does that mean?
I'll be ready. To defend myself.
Dwayne KEEFE D. Davis, now 63 and in jail, preparing to defend himself against a murder charge that sat unsolved for nearly 3 decades. But to understand how this case finally made it to a jury, you have to go back to September 7th, 1996.
We gotta start making changes. Learn to see me as a brother instead of two distant strangers.
Tupac Shakur, height of his career. He came to Las Vegas with Death Row Records co-founder Suge Knight for the Mike Tyson fight. But another clash took center stage inside the MGM Grand.
Members of Death Row Records spotted Orlando Anderson near an elevator bank inside the MGM. And at that time, they began to kick and punch him.
Surveillance video capturing the assault. Police identifying Anderson as a gang member of the Compton Crips. Investigators suspect the fight was in retaliation for an earlier dispute at a California mall, leading to the fight inside the casino.
Death Row Records and its CEO, Marion Suge Knight, were closely affiliated with the Mob Piru criminal street gang.
Prosecutors say Anderson went to his uncle, KEEFE D., who supplied the gun. The duo and 2 others then were in a car. They pulled up next to a black BMW with Shakur and Knight by Flamingo and Koval. Then gunfire. Retired Metro Lieutenant Chris Carroll was the first to respond.
And when I popped the door open, the guy inside, who would turn out to be Tupac, was actually leaning against the door. So as I open the door, he kind of slumped out and fell out as the door opened up.
Carroll speaking with News 3 2 years ago about the case.
So I looked at him and I said, who did this? Who shot you? And he looked at me and he kind of got his breath together, and I thought he was actually going to give me an answer, but he looked at me and he said, "F you." And after he said it, his eyes kind of rolled back.
An ambulance took Shakur to the hospital. He died 6 days later, but the case did not. It stalled.
A lot of people were like, why is there no arrest? Why is no arrest?
The man suspected of firing the shots, Orlando Anderson, died in 1998 in an unrelated shooting. But justice for Shakur's family and fans finally came almost 3 years ago, when the only surviving occupant in the suspect car started to talk publicly.
Hey, KEEFE, Metro Police, come over here.
Metro Police arresting KEEFE D in 2023 in Henderson.
So what they got you for, man?
Biggest case in Las Vegas history.
Prosecutors filing hundreds of court documents in the case, accusing Davis of orchestrating the plot to kill Shakur, from encouraging the gunman to commit the crime to providing the firearm, as stated in the indictment. But nearly 2 decades ago, Davis spoke with investigators under a federal proffer agreement. That agreement restricted how his statements could be used against him. Those interviews came after former LA detective Greg Kading developed a federal drug trafficking investigation involving Davis while working on the unsolved murder of rapper Christopher Wallace, better known as Biggie Smalls.
We wanted some leverage. We wanted to be able to get the kind of compel him to talk.
Kading says Davis claims to not know about Wallace's death, but could talk about Shakur's murder.
He admitted that he was involved in not only the solicitation to kill both Tupac and Suge Knight, but that he had acquired the gun in order to do so.
While a proffer agreement was in place, prosecutors say Davis went outside of it with not only interviews, but the book he co-authored, Compton Street Legend.
It's a good read, man. It's nothing but the truth. You want to hear some real?
That memoir now anchors the prosecutor's case. The defense trying to keep both the book and a 2008 police recording out of court, arguing the memoir was fictionalized and that investigators promised his earlier statements would never be used against him. Court documents state the assurance Davis received was a federal promise, and that binds the federal government alone. Nevada made none. Adding, Davis himself made his account public, sold it for profit, and then disowned it. Now, a jury will decide whether those words reflect the truth or a story to make money.
I did not write that book. All right, I'm the end is I'm gonna be ready.
You're going to be ready? When you say you're ready, what does that mean?
I'm gonna be ready to defend myself.
Dwayne KEEFE D. Davis, now 63 and in jail, preparing to defend himself against a murder charge.
Okay, y'all. Now I don't know. He probably gonna do some time, because I thought he was gonna say the wise thing would have been to say, the book was fictional. Okay. But he's saying he didn't write the book. He was just promoting it. So he's a dummy for real. He is. He's a dummy. And then Nevada did not have a proffer with him. Okay. The state of California did. And you have those police officers. He went outside of the proffer. So those officers are going to come in there that he did the proffer deal with and state that he said that he did it and solicited it. Okay, so yeah, he's finished. He's finished. I thought that, I'm surprised that his attorneys, yeah, y'all, I'm going to law school, but I said that I was not going to practice criminal law, but these attorneys dumb as a box of rocks. Why would they not go with the defense that it was just a fictional book? I didn't write that book, but you was promoting it. Your name is on it. Okay? That's crazy. But anyway, y'all, it's going to be interesting. We're definitely going to look at we're definitely going to look at this later tonight because I am interested in this, just like I am in Dirk's case. I'm interested in Dirk's. I think Dirk messed himself over real bad. So yeah. Anyways, you guys, I want you all to please like. I got to shower to get ready for work. I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.